is she? Is she okay? Right, sorry. Clementine, she means a lot. To all of us. We gotta find her. I'll get everybody together. If she went through the World Stone, she could be anywhere. Yeah, damn straight you could. She could be anywhere, like worlds away. All right, I'll get Brabus and Riggs. I'll tell them to... Oh, what the hell am I doing? I don't know what's out there any more than you do. Oh, I'd be putting the whole town at risk. Clem wouldn't want that. Hell, it's a miracle you came back. Oh, I'm sorry. The town will help you all it can, but I can't ask anyone to go out there. We gotta trust you to find her. Is that all right? Thanks, Traveler. Talk to the folks around town. They should have any supplies you need. You know, Ford used to tell me, old Commander Ford, not the Founder, that a leader and a hero are two different things. The leader's place is always with her people. I thought she was just taking a dig at her grandfather for leaving all the time, but I think I'm starting to understand her better now. Yeah, she's doing great. Can't keep her down, really. As soon as she heard you disappeared with the Founder, she was on her feet. Nothing the doc said would stop her. I don't know what she was doing all that time. Looking for you, maybe, or just keeping herself busy. Anyway, all that anxiety of hers turned out to be pretty helpful. She even set up shop over toward the entrance gate. You should go see her. She don't show it, but, yeah, so... After you and the Founder went missing, Riggs and I went looking for you. Found the stone floating and glowing like the old days. And I had a hunch what happened. Not my first experience with this thing, you know? I wanted it out here this time, so we could help anyone who came through right away. Turns out that was the right choice. Who knows how long it would have taken you to get out of that old ward. Right. So, long time ago, when the Root were still everywhere, I helped the Wanderer get to the oldest ward somewhere out past the... tell the truth, I don't even know where it is. Now that's the thing about the World Stone. You don't give... Yeah, that's what they call them. Yeah, I didn't come up with it. Yeah, the Wanderer did all the real stuff. Entered the ward, fought the Root, found Clementine. Anyway, yeah, I know better than most. Anything can come out of one of these things. Yeah, well, the Founder's his own thing, ain't he? It's not the first time he's disappeared on us. Not even the 5th time. Commander Ford, the Founder's granddaughter, used to say relying on the Founder was like running across rubble. Now, you could do it for a while, but sooner or later, it'll let you down. Now, I don't know if I'd go that far, but Founder Ford, he was always more of like... well, more of an idea to us than a leader. Hell, when I was a kid, everyone thought he'd been dead for years. That's the thing about the Founder. He never stays gone. A week, a year... I mean, I knew she was gone. I just didn't know she was that gone. Clem takes off from time to time, you know? It's just her way. She'll disappear for hours, sometimes days at a time. Well, I never liked it, but she can take care of herself, yeah? And it's not like I could stop her anyway. And she always came back, saying she just needed to be alone for a while, and I can respect that. I just wish she'd talk to... someone. You know? Good luck.
It is you. The rumors had me thinking I might not ever... They said you ran off with that old Ford fella and disappeared. I ain't seen you since. Where have you been? You mean that big-ass floating gym over there? Bo said it can take you other places, other worlds even. Before we got here, I'd have laughed in his face. But I've heard weirder stories than that. And I can see on your face, it ain't all make-believe, is it? Feels like anything can be true here. They even healed my root rot. I tell you what, I might just start believing in fairy tales. Yeah, I don't know what's in that stuff Doc Nora gave me, but I ain't felt this good for years. Hell, maybe it was Fulton's blend. The old ruins around here. Turns out there's still all kinds of useful crap if you know what you're looking for. And I do. I was just doing what I do to survive, you know. Maybe get some things together for when we moved on, but then you didn't come back. And Bo said folks around here could use this stuff, so I set up shop. So hey, if you ever need anything out there in the worlds or whatever, you just let me know. I got all kinds of stuff for trade. Stop by anytime. You know where to find me. Hey, I don't suppose you've seen Clementine. Sure. What do you need? Sure, what you got? You know me. I don't settle so much as stop moving on for a while. Though, I like any place with a warm bed and decent food. But now that I think about it, there's something different about this place. I mean, besides weird shit like floating crystals and girls that shoot light out of their hands. The people here are... they're good. They help each other. I think most of them like each other. I ain't seen that in a long time. Maybe ever. I don't know if you've met them all yet, but do, eh? They're good folk. And I can tell you who does what if you want. I've been around here long enough for that, at least. Have you met Dwell yet? Not a human one, that's for sure. He calls himself a Pan from some place called Yesha. I tell you what, I don't understand half of what he's talking about. But the crystals he sells are like nothing I've ever seen. Might be you'll want to talk to Reggie. He's got all kinds of cures and tonics. A fix to what ails you, he says. And while you're over there, see if you can figure out what's going on with that old Mudtooth. He's got some crazy stories, but I can't tell if any of them are true. His stew's pretty good too, once you get used to the smell. It'll keep you on your feet for days. I don't know. Why? You ready to move on or something? Well, look at you. All responsible. I admit, I'm starting to take a shine to it. This is the first place in a long while that's felt anything like home. I mean, you know me. Comfort makes me skittish, but I don't know. It feels like it'd be hard to get too comfortable in a place with glowing portals and talking goats. Anyway, I just want to stick around and see what happens next, at least for now. We'll see. All right. You know where to find me.
I guess I helped Nora because it seems most
Hey
worth
there,
doing.
traveler. What you got? Huh, tons. The old humans knew a lot about the human body, it turns out. Stuff even Grandpa didn't know. Did you know they used to be able to replace a man's lungs with someone else's? Or put a dead man's liver in someone whose liver didn't work anymore? To think of all the folks Grandpa and I could have saved if we had that kind of know-how. There's plenty if you know what to look for. Most of the basic meds are long gone, but there's still plenty of specialized tools and ingredients there. Stuff no one knows what to do with but me and my grandfather. What they don't got, but I never found once, is a cure for root rot. That's why so many folks died when the root first showed up. Grandpa had to invent a treatment on his own. All right. I'll be here if you need fixing.
You wanna take a walk down on the shore
Folks
sometime?
here in the ward. The ocean's so... You ever lost someone, stranger?
You wanna go?
Brad announced.
Hello again, traveler. Oh, yeah? What kind of questions? Old as teeth, friend. Old as teeth. Everything we know comes from Founder Ford. That title don't come from nowhere. He was there at the start. When the world ended, about 120 years ago, give or take a decade, Ford and some survivors took shelter in old Ward 13 over there. I don't know how many wards there were, but they were all part of something called the Dreamer Project that went bad. Real bad. Ford and Clementine are the only ones what really know, and they don't like to talk about it. But old Reggie's got a gift for collecting stories, and I've gleaned a few things. At the wards, see, they connected people to machines that made them dream about other worlds. But these worlds were real, and the dreamers were seeing through the eyes of someone that lived there. Sounds like a bridge too far, don't it? It did for me, too. At least until I met Clementine. Oh, about 20-odd years ago, we had almost nothing left. Trapped in Ward 13 with nowhere to go and the route getting worse all around us. Then this stranger wanders in out of the storm, makes friends, picks up some gear, and damned if they don't take the fight to the root. I still don't know if that wanderer was crazy or brave or both, but they did it. They beat the root, and things got better day by day. But once it seemed safe to live outside again, Commander Ford made plans to build this town here. She was one of the dreamers, if you can believe it. The only one still alive, as far as I can tell. She says she got sucked out somehow, dragged into her dream world before the root came to Earth. I don't understand it much. I reckon she don't either. But she found herself in a place called Reesum, a world covered in snow and inhabited by giant intelligent rats. Don't know how she survived, but I imagine it has to do with those powers of hers. Hey, that's the story I still haven't gotten out of her. Sure is. But power like that don't come without a cost. I can only imagine what it must take out of her to control a power like that. The Wanderer was on a mission from the start. Said something about getting to the tower on the old atoll out there. Sounded crazy the first time I heard it. But turns out, that tower was one of the old wards. The Wanderer's path wasn't easy, though. Our Wanderer had to track down Founder Ford just to find a way in. And that meant following its trail. Just you wait. I'm getting to that. Well, Ford had seemed to have gotten himself mixed up in another world's affairs, helping a rebellion out here. And he was imprisoned for it. Now, no one here knew that. But the Root Mother knew. And That's who our wanderer left to see. The Root Mother's got a story all her own, and I don't know half of it. Before she was the Root Mother, she was Evelyn Ford. That's right. The Founder's wife. Bound herself to the Root, she did. And it changed her. Turned her into something else. But when the Wanderer showed up, she pulled herself out. The Root Mother, or whatever she called herself after that, sent our Wanderer down a trail of sorrow, at the end of which was the Founder himself. The Wanderer freed him, and used his knowledge to get into the tower, and destroy the last Dreamer. Or what we thought was the last Dreamer anyway. It did weaken the Root for a time, but I guess that weren't the whole story. So, the Dreamer was dead. The storm subsided. But the Root, they were still around. Then Founder Ford tells us about the oldest ward, the first one, where the Dreamer Project began. He hoped there might be some clue there as to why the Deadwood was still coming to our world. So our Wanderer goes a-hunting. Oh, they found more than even old Ford bargained for. You ain't wrong. The place was full of doors, and I'm not talking about the quiet humankind. One of these doors led to the world of Riesum, where the Wanderer found Clementine. Clementine opened a door what nobody else could have opened. And inside? I hate to admit it, but I don't know what they found inside. All I know is the Root stopped coming when the Wanderer and Clementine were through. They'd done it. Saved the whole damn world. Just making sense of things. Stories make us who we are. If we don't share them, don't learn from them, we're just bouncing around in the dark. There are rumors. Some say he made a deal with the Root, and that's why he's so hell-bent on stopping them. Some say he was experimented on in the Dreamer Project. Some say he found some kind of magic out there in the years when he was traveling the worlds. Truth is, nobody knows. Maybe not even Ford himself. Personally, I think Ford's just tough as dirt and refuses to die. The story's pretty long, friend. Let me know if you get tired of the telling. After the world fell, see, Founder Ford carried the whole burden of what happened on his shoulders. Tell the truth, I don't think he ever put that burden down. At first, nothing. He pressed on with the work of helping others survive. If you ask me, that was the best thing he could have done. It never should have stopped. Maybe he wouldn't have if Evelyn hadn't. See, Evelyn was his wife, and she was something special. She could, hear the Root, see what they saw. At first, she thought she was going insane. But then she started using it, spying on the Deadwood. And she saw something coming. Something big. She saw a monster, something the ward, the whole city couldn't handle. And only one way out. She communed with the Root, I guess you'd call it. Melded her mind to theirs and drove the monster off. But the Root swallowed her, body and mind, until there was nothing left of Evelyn Ford. Her husband lost it then. He left the ward for months, sometimes years at a time, wandering the worlds trying to find something, anything that could stop the Root. And one day, he just didn't come back. Well, now my story's not through yet. The Fords, they had a daughter, Nadine. She was maybe 17 when her mother disappeared. Too young to run the ward, but when her pa was gone, folks would ask her their questions instead. Then one day, she was just in charge of everything. Nadine had her own daughter, Ellen, who really made us who we are today. Commander Ellen Ford inherited her mother's pragmatism. Her grandfather's doggedness and the grandmother's willingness to make hard choices. So whenever someone showed up, dehydrated, starving, half mad from loss, she took them in, taught them a trade in medicine and supplies, gave them a family. So you were paying attention. I owe a lot to Ellen Ford, and we all do. I miss her something fierce, let me tell you. She was a force, that woman. Founder Ford came back once. Did I mention that? Almost 60 years ago, right after his daughter Ellen's mother passed away. Ellen couldn't have been more than 18 at the time. But she told him the war didn't need him. Didn't have room for some legend who was just as likely to leave as to lead. I reckon Founder Ford saw the wisdom of that, because a while later, he left again and didn't return for a long time. When he finally did, he wasn't leading us no more. He was content to leave the ward in better hands. Ellen's hands. Well, she fell sick some time ago. Most of us have lost folks without any chance to say goodbye. But we got that with Ellen. Why, she even made things right with her grandfather before the end, or so I hear. The two of them together put Bo in charge of the ward. No one was more surprised about that than Bo. But you know what? He's the right man for the job. Ain't no one loves the ward, loves these people more than the kid who was raised by him. He's gonna do all right. Take care now, Traveler.
Welcome back, Traveler. You came to the right place, Traveler. Fair enough. Take care, young'un. Don't be a stranger.
You ever tried eating paper?
No, me neither.
Good to see you again. Certainly. Started in that rusty bunker. Over there. Ward 13. Only a few of us back then. Hunkered in the dark while the Deadwood had their way up top. Until a wanderer. Not unlike you. Wish I could give you a straight answer, friend. The storm itself spat them on our doorstep half dead. We brought them back to life, though, and before I knew it, they were asking me to work on the daftest equipment you ever saw. Never told me where they got it from, or what they did with it. But I know this. It was them what set the route to rights. No doubt in my mind. Oh, you'll see the others around. My, bilious colleague there, McCabe, old Reggie, our resident storyteller, and Bo, of course. He was just knee-high to a nightingale when Ellen took him in. But look at the boy now, eh? What's to say? I spent years trying to survive. Lost folks I love. Found new folks to care for. The same tale you're likely to hear from anyone else. This town, though. This town's a boon. Commander Ford's dream child. Ellen Ford, that is. She's been building this place ever since the route started dying out 20 years ago. A beacon of hope, she called it. It's just a town. Your cat. She passed on a while back. But she's still alive all around you. In the folks whose lives she's touched. Even in the bones of this town. And then there's her grandfather. That old man's gonna outlive the Earth itself. She did. Saved my life. Me and my partner, Jed. And, well, then again after Jed died. She gave me a family. When you meet Founder Ford, you'll know. Years don't have the usual hold on some folk around here. But Ford, he's playing with another set of rules entirely. Can I do anything else for you? Take care, my friend.
What is it now? Of course you do. No, I used to be a real asshole. Now I'm a beacon of kindness. Hard. Root everywhere. We did our best. Took in strays and tried to make a life of it. But it was no life worth living. Good people died. Few of us were brave or desperate enough to leave the bunker. The Wanderer, Ace. Ask Bo about the one time he went out. He came running back like a spooked cat. The Wanderer. They were a very rare pain in my ass. I never told them that. Wish I would have. They were here and then gone. Just Founder Ford got a bug up his ass about something happening back at Ward Prime. Bo was supposed to take the Wanderer back there, but he chickened out and ran home the first chance he got. The chronicles of our fearless... Hopefully this means you'll be leaving soon? What you got? Yeah.
What aid can Dwell provide? Of course, Paxeltech. Yes, that is always Iron Pan from the war. Alas, it long can the pan have when I last saw her. I don't... Dwell... Oh, not Paxeltech. Foreign. They long and long. They... yes. Yes. Of course, Paxeltech. Yes. Of course. Beware the pestilence.
Didn't expect to see you alive again. I'll answer what I can. I guess I said myself, this matter walks in. I'm thinking, to watch. I figure he find that cop. I let the Wanderer go. So sometime he didn't say it. Anyway, I told them, and the old man and I set up shop here. Kind of boring to tell you the truth, but better than you wouldn't know it, Court. Well, we set out. Yeah, I got a story or two from the glory days. Don't know what oh. Yeah, they all sound just like my old man with these stories. Who says that? I ain't complaining, mind you. All right, there's one of my... I can't problem one. Well, my dogs got lucky. Only a couple were close enough to get singed. But the root got blown all to hell. Of course, All right. Ferd, what do you do? There ain't nothing you got what they want. Fact is, they'd love any excuse to kill you, just to make them feel a little safer. Like it or not, fight or flight are your only real options. Good for you. Now you're dead. I said to my dogs. What's the deadwood? I said. See, the root. That's the world it was, stranger. Dog eat dog. Because, traveler, I'm reformed. That's so. But back in the day, I told him that particular tradition started the day Chavis and his gang rolled in and said, not on my word, no. There was only 3 of them, all torn. The rest of Chavis's was just, well, after the other ever since. All right, then. You want to buy something? Yeah. All right. Keep your gun loaded and your wits about you, stranger. Back again, huh? What trouble are you stirring up there? Let's see if we can, that's a fine choice. Oh, don't do nothing I wouldn't do, huh? But if you do, don't get caught.
Hey, you're back.
You big, strong man, you.
Stop by
no, I'm
anytime.
fine.
You know where to find me.
Audrey, if you've got so many opinions, you could come over here and do it
Cooking
yourself.
used to be. I will. Just need some.
I didn't believe Bo when he said y'all went in the crystal. Here you are. Coming right back.
Traveler. This... root attacks us. I mean, you knew that. The Tor... It's the root. They're connected. And I was... And marked it. Commander She told... my people here. They need the site. Death. The roots only want... I see what they see. Everything. No. No. Huh. Everyone asks. That's what they say. It's never true.
The root won't ever stop. And they can never die. When one falls, another takes its place. For the root, doors close, that's how I knew where you were, and where you would be. That's how I knew I'd meet you today. But I saw you here, clear as day. They saw you. Who the hell knows what? I know. I knew you would. Death, the root only want. I know. Consequences. For me. Goodbye, traveler.
Traveler. Yeah, good. Any way I can help? Questions? Oh. And she always came... Commander Ford... Now, that's the thing about... Stay safe.
Oh, Rabbit's got to polish his stuff more. Can't shoot straight with this.
I'm watching you, stranger. Oh, cool gun. Can I see?
Do you know where Miss Clementine went? I can't find her anywhere.